Okay, that's great.
Yes.
Okay, now so this is the platform which we have. Okay, so this is the platform which we have. And here you can see this is one of the entire audio. Okay, this is one of the entire audio, and that audio has divided into a small segments. Okay, for example, there is a conversation of two people. They are having a conversations on a given topic. Topic could be anything related to the movies or their educations, their college life, or anything. So the people are, the having the discussions with each other, and we just have to do the transcriptions, and not the fully transcriptions. Transcription is already there. Whatever the audio or segment you will play, their respective transcription is already there. So you just need to check whether it is correct or not. Okay, if it is not correct, then we have to do some corrections based on the speech or voice we are hearing. And if it is correct, then we will just go to the move to the next sentence. That's it. Okay. Now, so I just wanted to confirm one thing. If I am playing the audio here, is it audible to you guys? Segment. Okay, here is a one complete audio, and here is the silence, and here we can see here is a speech of the speaker. Okay, so what we have to do, we can just ignore the silence part. We will just play the audio from here. So whenever you will play the audio here, so here you can see the segment number 3, and here you also can see the segment number 3, the respective transcriptions of that particular segment. Okay, and here there are all those audios are there, like audio number 1, audio number 2, audio number 3, audio number 4, audio number 5. So from here you can switch your audios. So there are different ways. You also can switch your audios by this process. Like you can click it manually, or you can click it from here as well. Okay. Now every time whenever you will just click to the any of the audio, that audio will get played. Okay, you just have to listen it and check whether whether the given transcription is correct or not. Okay, so this is the procedure which we have to follow. Now, so you have to go through with all those audios. Like there are 234 audios, and once you have done with 234 audios, then you can submit it. Once you will submit, then you will get the another packet. Now what would be the procedure? Okay, so procedure would be like so first you just need to play the audio. Okay, from here whenever you will click here by the mouse, you can play the audio. Okay, and whenever you will play the audio, like this is the 17 number, audio number 17, and here is the audio number 17 is here. And when you will play the audio, then check the respective text. Okay, whether it is correct or not. Okay, if it is not correct, then you have to do the correction. Sometime you might get a transcriptions like wherein it has a multiple, the full stop, so you have to remove it. Okay, sometimes you may find that this I may be in a lower case, so you have to correct it in a capital letter. Okay, so you have to correct it in a capital letter. Sometime there may be case like here the written text is like I really prefer. Okay, but there may be possibility that speaker has said I really prefer. So if speaker said I really prefer, then we have to remove it once. Okay, but if a speaker says it twice, then we have to add on it once. Okay, so the overall the thing is that our audio should be matched with the text. Okay, whatever speaker is saying, we have to write it down here. That's it. And we don't need to write the entire content. Content is already there, but that it is not the 100% accurate. Okay, it is not the 100% accurate. So I would say the accuracy of the pre-text or the pre-given transcriptions could be about 70 to 80%. So the 20% corrections we have to do. Okay. Now, so while doing the transcriptions, there are few rules, there are guidelines which we have to taken care of. Okay. So we will start from the segmentations. Okay. So every time you will get the predefined segment. Okay, like here I am just dropping, so the this is the one segment, this is the second segment. These are the segment which are already created. Okay, sometime there may be possibility that we have to create the segment. So how you will create the segment? Just click here from the mouse and you can create the segment. Okay, and whenever you will create the segment, you will get the segment number here, that is 66. and here you can get the respective place wherein we have to transcribe whatever speaker has pronounced. Okay. So sometime, so why we need to learn these things, how to create the segments, because sometime you might get some voice here which are not segmented. So those voice we must need to create a segment for those voice. Okay, so this is how we can do it. So whenever you will create a segment, and sometime what may happen, sometime while clicking you might create a some segment by mistaken, like this one there is a no voice but I have created it by mistaken. So we can delete it either from here. Here is the option of delete. Okay, so that has gone now. Now the second thing which we have to taken care of is that we sometime, we have to adjust the segment. Adjust means, okay, actually this one is not the good example. Sometime you may find like here this is the voice, right? Sometime you may find that segment created is like that only. Okay, so in this case what is happening, in this case what is happening, that their voice is fully not covered within the segment, so you just need to stretch it a little bit. Okay, so to make sure that your voice should be within the segment only. Okay, so sometime like you may see the segment, for example, like that. Okay, but this is wrong. Here is a voice which is not within your segment, so it should be within the segment. So we may have to, so these are the very rare cases wherein we may have to do some adjustment into the segment. So there could be two things. One, you might need to create a new segment, so you can just click it via mouse or you can create it. Okay, this is the first thing. Second thing, you may have to do some adjustment, so those are very simple. So you can just drag it from right or left, whatever it is. Okay, so this is the one procedure that you have to do some adjustments. Now, every time whenever we will create a segment, okay, so it should have a some dead air or some pause at the beginning or at the end. For example, the real voice started from here, okay, here only. So your segment should not be like start from here itself. Okay, it should not be like that. You must need to give a little bit dead air or the pause first, and then your segment should start. Same thing should be at the end, that wherein your audio ends, then give just a little bit pause at the end as well. Okay, so we'll see some examples, you will come to know. Like for example, here audio started and here audio end, so at the beginning there is some blank voice, and at the end also there is some big blank voice. Okay, a blank voice, or we can say the dead air. Same with this segment. Okay, here is some blank voice. Now, sometime what may happen that, for example, this is the one of the segment. In that segment, there could be a two different speaker. Okay, so if there are two different speaker, then we have to like there is a rule, so there is a guideline which says that one segment should have a one speaker only. Okay, one segment should have a one speaker only. So here, for example, from here to here there is a one speaker, and from here to here there is a second speaker. So we have to do some adjustment, like I'll do some adjustment. So this is the first speaker, and here I'll create a new segment for the second speaker. Okay, so this could be the case. Sometime you may find some cases wherein you have to create the segment, and when you have separated the segment, then you have to play this you have to play this segment and write whatever speaker has pronounced, and then you have to play this segment and write, okay, here whatever speaker is saying, the 84 number is there, 84 number is there. Okay, so now, so did you come to know about how to create a segment, delete a segment, and do the adjustment? Is it clear with you guys? If yes, please respond so that we can move it further.
Yes.
Is it clear with you guys how to create a segment, right for second speaker? How to do right for second speaker? Okay, I'll explain these things once again. Don't worry about that. Okay, now, so it is very simple, no problem. Like, for example, this is the, for example, okay, I'm just taking one audio. For example, when you will play this segment, or here you find that there are two speaker. Okay, so first thing is that we have to make it separate. So for a separate, like from here to here, there is a speaker number one. So you will play this 86, 86 is here. So whatever you will hear, you need to write it here. Okay. And then here you have to create a second segment. So now you have created the second segment, that is 87 number. And now whatever speaker is saying, you have to write it here. No problem. That was a one speaker, that was a second speaker. So whatever the segment you will create for that particular segment, you will get the option here to write. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now let me move forward. Now next step is that here there is an option, you can see speaker number 1 and speaker number 2. Okay. And here you can see the one option for the plus. So when you will click on a plus, so you will get speaker number 3. Okay. And when you will click plus, so you will get speaker number 4. So whatever number of speaker are there in your audio, you have to add all those speaker here. For example, this audio has a 2 speaker. Okay. And both the speakers are male. Okay. So here speaker number 1, I have to select a gender. This is a one time job which you have to do at the very beginning. Like speaker number 1 who is a male, so here you can select a male, and speaker number 2 who is a female, so here we can select a female. That's it. Okay. Now every time whenever you will play the audio, for example, here speaker number 1 is speaking who is a male, so you have to select speaker number 1. And whenever the female speaker will speak, you have to select a speaker number 2. Okay, so I'll give you some example here. What happened? So there will be a 2 speaker. So now every time we have to make sure who will be considered the first speaker, the person who started speaking first in the conversation. Whoever speak first, you will be considered number 1. Okay, so here in my audio, speaker number 1 was a male, okay, who has spoken first, who has started the conversation, that hello dear, how are you? Okay, so he would be considered the speaker number 1. And now whoever will speak the second, you have to consider that person as a speaker number 2. Okay. Now every time whenever you will see all those segment, every time whenever you will see all those 300 or whatever, that 238 segments are there. So every time whenever speaker number 1 will speak, you have to select here a 1. And whenever speaker number 2 will speak, you have to select here speaker number 2. It is very important. Okay, every time you must need to select a speaker number. Okay, so in all those audios or all in all those conversation, it would have a 2 speaker. This is for sure. You are gonna get a 2 speaker. So whenever speaker number 1 is speaking, so you have to write speaker number, not right, actually you have to select speaker number 1, and whenever speaker number 2 is speaking, you have to select speaker number 2. Okay, so guys, I hope is it clear with you guys that how to select a speaker every time whenever you will transcribe the particular segment. So please just give me the response so that I'll move ahead from
And
here.
question is ki what if a third person comes in between the conversation? In that case, what are we going to do?
Actually, this is for sure that you will get the 2 speakers only, okay, because this is the
Okay, okay.
conversation between the 2 speakers. But just for your informations, if you will get the third speaker, then here you can add on one more speaker from here, okay, and then you have to follow the same procedure. You have to select the gender, what is the gender of third speaker, and then here every time you will get 1, 2, or 3. So whoever is speaking, you have to select it.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Hello, I have
Yes,
one
please.
question.
Yeah.
Actually, the thing is, how will I get to know that who is the first speaker? I mean, who start the conversation first? Is it like that?
Yes, whoever start the conversation first would be considered as a speaker number 1, and then whoever speak the seconds, that would be speaker number 2.
And might be, it's possible that sometime will be happen that, both the speaker has kind of same voice. So in that situation, what will I have to do?
No, actually, this cannot be happened. There must be some difference in their accent or their voice modulations or their way of speaking. So we
And
have to judge
I mean,
it.
how much time will it take to complete a full line of segment? Like, There it is like 178. I can see that. So how much time it will take to complete all the segments?
See, actually, here you can see the duration, like the total durations of this audio is about 1800 second, 1811. Okay. So
Okay.
1800, if I'll divided it by 60, so I'll give you the duration. Just give me the second.
Mhm.
So 1800 divided by 60. So that is about 30 minute. Okay. So in that 30 minute, that silence is also there. The silence part is also
Okay.
included. Okay. So the effective durations of this audio is 449 second. So the 449 second, I would say 449 divided by 60. So it is about 7 to 8 minute task which we have in this particular packets. In that 7 to 8 minute audio, we have that number of segments. So each
Like
segment is
238.
about, yeah. So each segment is about 2 second, 3 second, and something like that. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, so the every time whenever you will complete the one segment, your productivity will get added, and you also can see how what is your actual productivity or what is your actual work which you have done. So after submitting it, there is one option. I'll show you guys later. No problem with that. Okay.
And we have to complete 60 minute of effective time in a day.
60 minute, no, actually it's not that hard and fast. Initially, yes, I do understand that it might take some time, okay, to learn and to get used to with all those things. But once you guys get used to with it, then you have to complete the as many as possible, so that you, based on that, you will get earn, or definitely your earning would be depend on your productivity only, right? So if you'll do less, then you will get paid less. This is the clear thing.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
There, so you're saying that you have to make it a segment. For speaker one, you have to drag it and put it as speaker one, then you have to kind of again go to speaker two. Now, in between a conversation between the two speakers, if one person is saying yeah and the other person also says response like, so do you create different segments for that?
Actually, those segments are already created. Okay, we don't need to create it.
Yeah,
You
but
will,
like you gave an example where you did create because
yeah,
it could be an
yes,
overlap.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
if suppose between the two speakers just acknowledge there is a yes and a yes.
Hmm.
So do you kind of say make two segments for that in case it's not already done?
Definitely, yes. Whenever speaker change, it must have a separate segment.
Okay.
Okay, okay, guys. So let's.
Ask you that. Can we use this thing on phone or we use something else like laptop or tab, something we have to use?
You
On
have
mobile
to
phone, is
do
it
it.
possible?
No, no, it is not
Yeah.
possible over the mobile phone.
Okay, so we need to have something else.
Correct, correct. Either laptop or desktop would be fine.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so here we are done with the segmentations, speakers, and selecting of the speakers now. So here you can see one more option, that is a zero. There is a one more option, that is a zero. Like every time we have to speaker number, whether it is a speaker number one or a speaker number two. So when we have to use the zero, we have to use the zero whenever we will put the tag. So there are some tag, okay. We will learn all those tag into the guideline. So here I am just telling you how to apply the tag. Just click on zero and you can just click on the tag, so that tag would be here. So there are n number of tag, like this is the star, this is the nps tag, this is the PII tags, this is the laughter tag. So how and what would be the condition, in which condition, which tag we must need to apply. So all those things we'll learn into the guideline. Okay, don't worry about that. But now just make sure whenever you will apply the tag, you need to select a zero. And whenever you will do the transcriptions, you have to select either speaker number one or either speaker number two. And whenever you are not able to judge the speaker voice, or you might get a voice which cannot be transcribed, which cannot be judged, or which cannot be understand, in those cases we will select a speaker number zero and put a respective tag. Okay, so now we'll learn how to put the tag and all those things. Okay, so now I'm just going to the guidelines first. Yeah, we will I'll explain this overlap case into the guideline. Don't worry about that. I do have
Uh,
There is a one tag which is called NPS, which we will learn later. Don't no worry about that. Now, there is one more thing. The maximum length of each segment should not be more than 15 seconds. Okay, like whenever you will do the transcriptions of any segment, so you will see most of the segments would hardly have a length of 4 seconds, 5 seconds, or 6 seconds. This is the maximum you will get. But sometime there may be possibility that you might get a some segment in which the length of that particular segment is greater than 15 seconds. In that case, what we have to do, the system or this portal will not allow you to save that particular segment. Okay, so we have to separate that 15 second segment into a two parts. Like you can do the you can make a two, like for example, here is a one big segment. Okay, so you can consider it is a more than a 15 seconds. So now what you can do, you can do the separations like segment number one, and then you can create another segment, that is a segment number two. So you can divide that big segment into a two parts. Okay, so how you will do the segmentations, like whenever speaker took any pause, or wherein there is a no voice, or there is a some kind of dead air, so from there you can do the separations. Okay, so please make sure your segment should not be greater than 15 seconds. Whenever you will create a segments, if it is a more than a 15 second, just please make it separate into a two parts, like 5 seconds or 10 second would be fine, or 6 second or 7 second would be fine. Whatever you can do, that is completely okay. Now, pause in the middle of segment cannot exceed 0.8 second. Now, how we'll see? For example, this is the one complete segment, and here you can see there is a pause. Okay, the pause should, if the pause is greater than 0.8. So how you will calculate 0.8? So here you can see some parameters are here, like this is the, from here to here it is a 1 second, and then here another 1 second. So here there are 10 lines in that 1 second. So if the pause between the segment is greater than 0.8 second, then you have to separate it into a two segments. Okay. Now, every clip or
Can you
every
just repeat the
segment
last point?
reserve about 0.1 to 0.2 second mutes. Like we have seen it already. Whenever speaker voice start or end, so every time there should be a some dead air at the beginning or at the end. Okay, so this is what our rules are saying, that every time it should have a some dead air. It should not be a very close to the voice, like this and this. This one is wrong. Okay, it should have a some pause at the beginning or at the end, like here and here. This one is fine now. Okay, now there are some rules. We don't need to use any Arabic number or any special character or any sign. For example, I'm just giving you some example in my notepad. For example, speaker is saying 1 2 3, so you have to write 1 TW2 THEE3. Okay, please don't write 1 2 3 like that. If speaker is saying 10%, so you have to write 10 percent. Don't write like this. Okay, if a speaker is saying doctor, so please write doctor. Don't go like that, dr and the full stop. Okay, if a speaker is saying Mr., please write Mr. Okay, don't go like this. Clear with this? So whatever speaker is saying, we have to write it in a words. We cannot use any alphabet numbers. We cannot use any sign or anything. Okay. So whatever speaker is saying, we just have to write it in a words only. Okay. Now next. Sometime you will get some abbreviation. Abbreviation is like, for example, a speaker is saying, if a speaker is saying FBI, so you have to write like this: F space B space I. Okay. If a speaker is saying ICICI, okay. If a speaker is saying HDFC. So it should be like that. Okay, the speaker is saying GPS, so G space P space S, and it should be in a capital letter. The speaker is saying G space D space P. The speaker is saying TV, T space V. Okay. The speaker is saying FBI, FBI is already done. ISI, ISI. Am I clear with this now?
Yes, sir.
So this is the way we have to write all those abbreviations. Okay, whenever we are pronouncing uh, the word by word, or I would say the character by character, like FBI, so we have to give the space, and we must need to write it in a capital letter only. Okay, and there are few more words like NASA, so it should be like that. You have to write it in a capital letter without space. Okay, apart from NASA, there could be some more like SEBI. Okay, and there could be like NATO, and I don't know the other word. So I hope you guys got the idea that how we have to write the abbreviations, if like this and like this. So I just wanted to make sure, is it clear with all of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it clear with everyone? I guess
Yes, sir.
again I'm not getting the voice from your ends, but you guys can give the response in a chat. If it is clear, we'll move ahead. Okay, great. Now. Okay, now we'll move ahead. So the proper noun, okay, the proper noun, like noun is the name. Okay, whenever you will get like name of the month like September, so S should be capital. Name of any countries, any cities, okay. So the initial letter should be capital. Name of any brand like McCann, so M should be capital. A name of any place or anything like Atlantic Ocean or anything. So whenever there is a proper noun, okay, in proper noun, what things you will get? The name, place, or anythings. So whenever you will get anything, like you might get a name of any celebrities or the prime ministers or cities or countries or anything. So whenever there is a proper noun, okay, so the initial letter of that proper noun should be in a capital. Okay. Is it clear that how we have to deal with the noun words?
Yes, sir.
Please respond in chat because I am still not getting the word. Okay, great. Now, so I'll move forward. Yes. Now stuttering. It means whenever a speaker will pronounce something, he may get hesitate. Okay, so there would be a two cases like sometime in hesitations, he might speak a same word twice. Like for example, I am saying I will do it. Okay, instead of I'll do it, I said I will do it. So if I have pronounced the same word twice, so you have to write it like that only. If I have pronounced it twice, then you will write twice. And sometime it may happen, like for example, the original sentence is I want to go to market. Okay, so here in hesitation, I said I want to go to market. Okay, so like here I couldn't pronounce the complete word, I got hesitated, and then I have repeated the actual word. So if you get any cases wherein speaker get hesitated, so either he will speak twice, so if he speak twice, then you have to write it twice, and if a speaker get hesitated, so whatever he has pronounced, you have to write it down. Okay, so here like instead of market, I said market. So ma, and then you have to place a hyphen or hyphen sign here. Okay, so here you guys can see the rules. I'll send this rule file to you guys later, no problem. Like here, there is one example. It is supposed to be. So speaker said it is supposed to be. Okay, so here we have to write whatever he has pronounced in the hesitations. Okay. So is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Now I'll move forward. Sometime you may get some cases wherein speaker says like time to do it instead of time to do it, speaker may says dime to do it. Okay, so you have to write, okay, because you have to write the exact word like time to do it, not dime to do it. It may have some accent different, so please we have to put that into the considerations. Okay, now and these things we have already learned, like instead of doctor, if speaker is saying a doctor, so write it fully. Okay, doctor. Instead of this, please write Mr. Whatever speaker is pronounced, we have to write it like that. Don't use any short forms or anything like that. Okay. Now PII. What is PII? PII stand for personal identification informations. Okay. So whenever you will hear any audio, okay, so in that audio you might find some personal information. Personal information could be like the full name, the ID number, that security number could be like the PAN number, the Aadhaar number, or their passport number, okay, or anything like the taxpayer identifications number or the complete phone number or their personal email ID. Like whenever you will hear any PII, when you will play the audio and if you hear the PII, so in that case we don't need to write or we don't need to transcribe that PII. Instead of that, instead of transcribing, we will just put a PII tag over there. Okay, so how to put the PII tag? It is very simple. I'll show you here. Like here, for example, here we can see the PII. Okay, so I have just delete the transcriptions and select the 0 here because there would not be any speaker, and put the PII tag from here. That's it. Simple. Okay. Now, and please follow all those grammar rules. Okay, whenever speaker like there are three kind of two. Whenever speaker is saying 1 2 3, so please write ONE1 TWO2. Okay, don't put TOO2. Okay, so please, so follow the, we must need to follow the grammar rules. Based on that, you have to apply the words accordingly. Okay. Now, there are some fillers word you might get because whenever you will hear their accent, so there would be a n number of fillers. Like sometimes speaker says, oh, mm, oof, ouch. Okay, so some kind of word you may hear in the conversation. So you have to use all those standard fillers which are given into the guideline. I'll share this file with you guys. So whenever you will hear any filler words from the speaker, so please apply it. Okay. So this is the most important. Like whenever speaker saying, I want to go for a movie. So please, I want to go. Then speaker says, so you have to apply it. Okay, you have to apply it. Apply it. Must need to apply it. Whenever you hear any fillers, any small fillers, okay, which is not that much loud enough, but still if you can hear it, you have to apply the fillers. Okay. Now, punctuation marks. We have, since I have already mentioned that we have to follow all those grammar rules. So you must need to apply all those punctuations like the full stop, the question mark, and the apostrophe signs, and the comma, and the hyphen wherever it is required. Based on the grammar rules, for example, if you got any complete sentence, so at the end of the sentence, you need to put the full stop. Okay. If there is any noun, then initial letter of the noun should be capitalized. If there is any word like can't or it's, so you have to apply the apostrophe sign accordingly. Now, there are few more things I just wanted to let you guys know. Like you, whenever you will hear the conversation of you in a US or UK accent, so instead of want to, speaker would says I want this. Okay. wanna. So please, if speaker saying is wanna, so please write wanna. Okay, don't write want to. In a text or in a transcriptions, you might find it is written want to, but if a speaker is saying wanna, then please make it corrected. Same gonna. If a speaker saying is gonna instead of going to, so please write gonna. If a speaker is saying tryna, so please write tryna. Okay, don't write trying to. Okay, so whatever speaker is speaking, based on that we have to do the transcriptions. Now, so here is the overlapping cases. I guess someone has asked the questions. So there would be two cases in the overlapping. Okay, so the first case, okay, before that, just let me ask. So whatever I have explained, so is it clear about the grammar rules, punctuations, and the what I said,
Yes.
the fillers?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, great. Now,
Yes.
so I'm just moving forward. So in the overlapping, there would be two cases. So what is the overlapping? Overlapping means two people are speaking at the same time. For example, there are two people are there into the conversations, but both of them are speaking at the same time. Okay, in that case, what would happen? We would not be able to understand the hear the voice of the primary speaker. In that case, what there would be two situations. Either we are able to either we are able to hear the voice of primary speaker, that do not have a much impact, that can be clearly audible, we can judge it. So in that case, we will write whatever we hear. Okay, and at the end of the and at the end of the transcription, we will just put this plus sign tag. Okay, so that tag is here, I'll show. Like for example, whatever overlapping is there, but I am able to understand what the primary speaker was saying. So I'll do the transcriptions, and at the end I'll put the tag which is here, that plus sign tag for the overlapping. Okay, and the second case would be that the overlapping is kind of too heavy. It is completely hodgepodge, we cannot understand what people are saying. There is a lot of distortions, and things are like it's quite complicated for us to understand and to transcribe. So if you get some cases like that, in that case, what you will do, you will just select a 0 here and delete the entire transcriptions and put the plus tag. That's it. Okay, it's giving some error, maybe something wrong.
You are on the first, right?
Okay, no issues with that. So did you got the idea? You will get the two cases in the overlapping. In first cases, you might be able to hear the voice of primary speaker, that you can judge, that you can listen, and that you can transcribe. So in that case, you will do the transcriptions, and at the end of the transcriptions, you have to put the plus sign. And the second case would be that you might not be able to listen or hear to understand the voice. In that case, you just simply delete the transcriptions, okay, and put the plus sign. That's it. Okay, so is it clear with you guys?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So now I'm moving forward. So here are the all those tag. We have already seen how to apply the PII tag. Okay, so PII is for the personal identifications number. Whenever you will hear any PII informations, in that case, what you will do, the simple thing which you have to do, for example, here speaker is saying my mobile number is 97541707769. Okay, so their mobile number is kind of PII, so we will delete the entire transcriptions. Okay, and we will just put the PII tag. So to apply the PII tag, you need to select here first and apply the PII tag. That's it. Okay, now what is the NPS? NPS is the voice from the known primary speaker. For example, there are two people are there into the conversations, but you may hear some voice from the background, that some person is calling someone or asking to someone or doing some activity or having some chat over the phone or whatever things are there. If he is not the primary speaker, those voices are from the background. In that case, you don't need to transcribe it. You just simply delete the conversation, select 0 here and put the NPS tag. Clear? Now, the third tag is the system tag. Like whenever you will hear any telecommunications or any recording voice, okay, which or non-speech system sound, anything which is a telecommunication, any recording voice like the radio or anything, okay, in that case, you have to apply the system tag. Like you don't need to transcribe it, just put the system tag. Okay. Now, the next one is plus sign. We have already learned it. For the overlapping cases, there would be two cases. In one cases, you would be able to judge it. So just do the transcriptions. If you are able to judge it, so do the transcriptions, whatever speaker is saying, and at the end, plus the apply sign. And the second case could be you won't be able to judge what speaker is saying. So just simply click on the 0 and apply the plus sign. Okay. Now, so this is the most important take which you will use. All those takes are very rare which you have to use. The maximum of the time you will apply these tag, which is very important. So here, this is the star tag, I would say. Star is there. So what we have to do every time, whenever you will play the audio, if audio is unclear, okay, incomprehensible speech like or content, for example, that voice of a speaker you cannot judge, the severe accent, like the speaker hasn't spoken properly, very severe accent we can hear, that cannot be judged. Dialect, that cannot be judged, or it may be in other language, or it could be a very blur voice, or the voice in any which cases which we cannot judge if we cannot understand. Every time whenever you will play the audio, if you cannot judge it, so please don't transcribe it. Okay, you will get the error into it and your work will come for the revision. So every time if there is any audio which cannot be judged, which cannot be transcribed, just simply put this star tag. Okay, so this is for the unclear cases. Whenever you are not able to judge whether whatever speaker is saying it is correct or not, if you have any confusions, you cannot understand the speaker voice, you cannot judge the speaker accent, or the very severe accent is there, or whether it is other language or very rough language kind of thing which cannot be judged, so in that cases you have to apply these star tag. So maximum time whenever you are not sure or you cannot transcribe it, you have to select a 0 and apply the star tag. So star tag would be a very, this tag would be used very frequently. Whenever the things are unclear, simply you have to apply the star tag and move to the next. Okay. But first, please put your best effort to understand what speaker is saying. Okay. And always please remember one more thing, that all those audios are interlinked. All those audios are interlinked. Like for example, in one segment, you are not able to make the decision what speaker is saying, so you can always take the reference of the upper segment or the lower segment, so by that you would be able to judge it. Okay, you will able to judge it, that what the conversation is going on. Based on the conversation, you always can take the right decisions. So you can always take the reference of above or the bottom audio is there. Okay, so because all those audios are into the all those audios are interlinked. Like for example, I am saying hello dear, what are you doing? So hello dear is one segment, what are you doing is the second segment. Okay, and then third segment would be like I'm doing well. So all those things are interlinked, so you can always take the reference of above and the bottom segment while doing the transcription. So if you face any difficulties, and still if you cannot judge it, you cannot understand it, simply put the star tag. That's it. In some segment you may hear there is a no voice, only the speaker is laughing, so just simply apply the laughter tag over there. Okay. Now sometime you may hear that there is a no speech, wherein speaker is coughing, sneezing, or throat clearing, like sometime something like that speaker is doing. So in that case you don't need to transcribe it, just put this sonat tag, whatever it is. Okay.
Some
If there
audibility,
is,
sir.
yes please. Hello. Okay, now so the music tag, we have to apply the music tag whenever there is a singing, humming, or whistling. Okay, whenever speaker is like singing, or you can hear some singing instead of the speech from the speakers. Okay, if there is any if the speaker is singing, humming, or whistling, okay, whatever speaker is doing, so in that case you have to apply the music tag. And like for example, for the PII we do have these tag. For the speaker, non-primary speaker, we have NPS tag. For the system noise like the telecommunications or something, we do have this tag. Plus tag we have for the overlapping. Star tag we have for the unclear words. For the laughter we do have tag. For the sneezing and coughing, we do have a separate tag, and for the music, we do have tag. Apart from that, if you hear any other noises or anything, for example, it may be a noise of car, it may be a noise of some the some animals, or the dog the dog is barking or anything. Any other noises apart from these tag, if you hear, so in that case you can apply this tag over there. Clear? So
I guess tag. Yes. And can you read that right independent means the symbol? Can you repeat that for me?
this one independent and this one.
Yes, the last three, the highlighted one. Independent means the symbol must exist independently with a segment down.
Okay, this one. Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
here, yeah, here I can explain you all those things. For example, they have just detailed all those things. For example, whenever there is a PII, so you don't need to do the transcribe anything. You can just
Yes, yes.
apply the PII. That is
That
the
thing I got it.
independent.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Okay, okay. Okay, no problem.
yeah, and the same thing with NPS. Like in that case, you don't need to transcribe. Just independently apply the NPS tag.
Okay, okay.
Same with the system. For the overlapping cases, we have to transcribe if we are able to judge, and if we not, then we have to also can apply this tag independently.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
Same
okay.
with the star sign and all those things. Okay. So now one last thing which I have to share with you guys, that sometime you might get a some audio, the complete audio. I'm talking about the complete audio, that 15 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever it is. Okay, that audio might have other language, or in that audio you may hear there are n number of people, multiple people who are talking to each other, and there is a lot of background noises, something like that. So the case is like that video is not a valid audio for us. Sorry, that audio is not a valid audio for us, or that cannot be transcribed. In that case, we can just simply click here. Whenever you will click this valid button, so here you will get the invalid reason. So you have to here give the reason like other language, or maybe a lot of noise, or multiple people, whatever it is, and then you can just submit it. Okay, so when we will do it, when the entire audio has a problem, so please think twice before you mark any of the audio as an invalid audio, because when you will mark it as an invalid, then you have to just write down the reason here, and after that you will just click the submit. So that entire audio will get skip, and you will get the next audio. But this is the very rarest case, because we do have a feature. That's why I'm explaining this thing to you guys. Okay, now
Sorry, please repeat again. Sorry, Sachin. Please repeat once.
definitely. Okay, so sometime I am not talking about the one or two segments. I'm talking about the entire audio, like from the beginning to the end. From the beginning to the end, whatever the complete duration of audio is, like 15 minute, 20 minute, whatever it is. So sometimes this audio may have a, some problem may be either it is in other language, or either it is a very much noisy, either it could have a n number of people who are just talking to each other, and all those things are there which cannot be judged, or which cannot be transcribed. So this is very rare case which you will get. In that case, if the audio is not the ideal enough to transcribe, in that case we can mark that audio as an invalid. That's it. So the entire audio, like for example, all those segment will get skip if you will click here in this button. Here there is one button, it is called a valid. So when you will click in this valid, so it would be like turn into a invalid. Like when I have clicked this to valid, so now here you can read invalid reason. So here you have to mention the reason and then you'll click the submit. So by this way you can skip the entire audio. But
So it
this
means
is
that we, yeah, please.
yeah. So this you have to do in that case only whenever the entire audio, like all those, like for example, 60 to 70% audio has the same problem, cannot be judged, cannot be understand, or the other language or whatever the issue is there. So this is the very rarest case which you guys will face. Yes, please. Question.
Okay. No, okay, thank you.
Okay, great. So now the most important thing which you guys have to taken care of. After that, I'll take your questions. Every time, please select speaker number, which is very important. Okay. Every time 1 or 2 or whatever it is, please select a speaker number. It is very important. Okay. Second thing is that please follow grammar rules. Grammar rules. Okay. Grammar rules, please apply the, if it is a noun, initial letter should be capital. Use punctuations like full stop, comma, questions mark, whatever it is, apostrophe sign, whatever it is. Use all those punctuations. Okay, this is the very important. ठीक है? And
Right.
yes, please.
Yes, sir. Please
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. And apart from that, sometime you may get the transcription which is written like, what are you doing? And it has like 3 to 4 full stop. This may be a kind of the pre-given text is like that only. So we have to do the corrections. Please remove this full stop if it is the unnecessary. Okay. And if it is an interrogative sentence, please put a questions mark and the initial should be a capital. Okay. And now the second thing is that sometime what happen, like for example, like I want to go to market. Okay. In that case, these complete sentence could have a multiple segment. Like in first segment, he says, I want. Okay. In second segments, he said to only. And in third segments, he said go to. And in last segment, he said market. Okay. So please don't do the things like that, that every time you do the capital to the initial letter. It should not be like that. Okay. Don't capitalize all those things. Don't think that every beginning of the every word or every sentence should be capitalized. It is not like that. Okay. Whenever it is the beginning of the sentence, okay, so then only please it should be capitalized, or either it is a noun, then only it should be capitalized. Apart from that, you have to write down all those things in a lower case only. Okay. So all those things would be in a lower case only. ठीक है? Now, please take care of segment. You can add the segment. Okay, you can delete the segment if you have created by mistake, and you also can adjust the segment. So it is very simple. Just have to, you can just do it via mouse, like creating the segment. Like I am just creating one segment from here to here. So I have just create the segment, and here you will get the transcriptions box. Okay. So this is where you can create the segment. You can adjust from left, or you can right, or you can also delete from here. Here is the option for the delete, and here also there is option to delete. So if you have created by mistaken, so you can just delete it. Okay. So guys, that's it from my end about the guidelines and all those things. The quality of the pre-given transcription is, I would say, near about 90%. Only the 10% corrections you have to do. And what would be those corrections? Like whenever speaker has some filler, like something like that, so you have to apply the fillers. and it might not be a grammatically perfect, which you have to correct and put the punctuations. So it is going to be easy job, but yes, should have the understanding of US and Canadian accent. If you do have, then you are capable enough to do it with accuracy, no problem with that.
Correct. And before submitting, will there be any option to review every single segment, sir?
Yeah, of course. Actually, see, whenever you will click the submit, so that packet will get submitted. But if, as long as you will not click here, you always can come back and listen and check again every time. Wherever you want to go, you can just go back.
All right, sir. That's it, sir.
Okay. Yes, please. So guys, do you have any other questions?
So how long the project will work, sir?
See, the total volume is about 900 hours we do have.
Okay.
Yeah, so the 900 hours. So this is for sure that by the end of October, this project will
Mm-hmm.
last. Yeah, by the September
All
or
right.
by the October. Yeah, 2 months we do have continuous work for the coming 2 months. Yeah,
Okay.
So please explain the gender option once.
definitely I can do that. See here. So whenever you will open the your task, okay. Okay, so whenever you will open the task, so here you will get the one speaker only. Okay, so by this plus sign, you have to add the number of speaker. Okay, and once you will add the speaker 1 and speaker 2, then you have to play the audio. When you will play the audio, then you would be you would come to know that the what is the gender of that speaker number 1. For example, the conversation started by the female, so my speaker number 1 should be a female, and the second speaker is a male, so here it should be a male. Simple. So whoever spoken first, consider as a speaker number 1, and whoever spoken second, consider as a speaker number 2. And whatever the gender of those respective speakers, we have to select it, whether it is a male to male, or maybe female to female, or maybe one male or one female, whatever it is.
Okay, so thank you.
To this, that the complete recording, like one segment we will recording we will get, and we have to cut into segments, right?
No, it is already there.
So
It is already segmented and it is already transcribed. Pre-transcription is already there. Segmentation is also there. You just have to do the proofreading. Proofreading is like just
okay.
play the audio and check the respective pre-given transcriptions. If it is a correct,
Mm-hmm.
then just move to the next. And if it is a not correct, then just do the corrections, whatever it is. So
Okay, I
segmentation is
just
there, transcription is there. Yeah.
okay. My question is that which is discussed about valid invalid task, right? So in that case, we have to listen the complete segment, or we have to listen only 2, 3, and then we can assign that is invalid. What we need to do completely, we have to listen, or just 2, 3 we will go through and we find that it is not able to understand, so we can put it in place of invalid.
See, yeah, so in that case, you can take a very quick decisions. Like initially, you will play some 4 to 5 segments, which is hardly two
Okay.
to three seconds. Okay,
Mhm.
then you will play, then you can play some segments from the middle of that packet,
Okay.
and then you can
Mhm.
hear from the some from the at the end. Okay, and then you
Okay.
can
Okay.
take your decision that the entire audio has some problem. Then you can just select it as an invalid and just get it
Uh-huh.
submitted. But this is for sure, you are not gonna get any invalid audio. So that is just for
Okay.
your informations. Yeah, that is a
Okay.
very
Okay.
rarest cases, because whatever the audio we are uploading over there, so before that we are doing some checking from our end, then we are doing the uploading. So you won't get the
Okay.
invalid audio. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Now the next step is that I'm gonna share one link with you guys for the sign up. In the sign up, you have to put your email ID and then your name and then your password and all those things. So just to create your IDs, okay? And when you will put your email ID, so you will get one OTP. So please do check your OTP in the spam your the option in your mail ID. You might not get in your primary email, but you might get in a spam. So please do check over there and complete the registration process. I'm gonna Okay, so for example, whenever you will open the link, so that would be in a Chinese language. Okay, so here you will get a one options to change the language. So please make it English. From here, you guys can change the language. So by default, you will get Chinese. I guess I need to refresh it. Okay. Okay, so by default, you will get like that only. So here, first you have to change the language in English, and then you have to click button, which is here. Here is the sign up immediately. Okay, so when you will click on the sign up button, so here please enter your email ID, whatever the Gmail ID you have. Here user, and by clicking here you will get the OTP. So whenever you will click here, so then here you will get the captcha code. So please select a captcha code by dragging the slider. So once you will drag the slider, then you will get the captcha code in your spam. So please enter the verification code here and complete the sign up process. That's it. And once you task, you have to click here go annotate, then your task will get open. Okay, and once for example you have done a few tasks and click on save and close your portal, and next time again you if you have to open the same packet, then you have to click here ongoing task. Here is a one ongoing task, so I'll click here. Okay, so from here you can get your ongoing task whatever you were doing it. Okay, so ongoing task would be open from here. Then you don't need to go to the go annotations. Go annotations you will go when you have to accept the new packet, but you have already opened it and working on it, then you can go on the ongoing task to open it. Okay, so this is the entire procedures to use the portals.